The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Tuesday, 24th day of November, 2020. Thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad to have you right here, right now. If you can't see the screen I have up, just go to our homepage at CFRN.net. On the right-hand side of the page, click the big microphone, follow the instructions. You'll be registered in about 30 seconds. And that will give you one-click access to the show each and every day. Now, if you're listening to this after the fact, in other words, we're live right now, broadcasting around the world, streaming all kinds of places, but maybe you've stumbled across this days, weeks, months later. Guess what? You can still go to our homepage right now in the future at CFRN.net. On the right-hand side of the page, click the microphone, follow the instructions, and the next time we go live, you'll be notified via email. And in that email will be a link that you can click to join the stream with one-click access. Okay. Again, we're streaming live on YouTube now, if it's working today. I haven't kicked in the Facebook and the Twitter feed yet, but maybe I'll do that while Michael's talking. Let's open this thing with a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for every seat that has been filled here today in our virtual meeting. We thank you for each mind and heart that fills the presence of this virtual room. Only you truly know what we are setting out to accomplish today. We have an idea, a vision, hints, daily instructions. We have talents, abilities, and time to work. However, God, only you can see in perfect detail the end of every beginning, every project, every season, every life. With you, God, nothing is ever in vain, for even mistakes and missteps can be used for good by you according to your word. Your righteousness transcends all our efforts and understanding. Forgive us for our pride, the pride that puffs us up and the pride that threatens to unqualify us. Strengthen our confidence in who you have made us to be. Set us free from comparison in order to work together efficiently. We pray that you would bless this meeting today, this broadcast, all those present, those who could not be present, as well as the lives of those we will encounter after this broadcast. Ready us, God, to make every moment count. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Let me give you, sure I said happy Tuesday, right? Okay. And then tomorrow's happy Wednesday, and then we're out of here Thursday and Friday. Got to eat the turkeys and all that. We'll be back Monday, potentially Thursday night, Thanksgiving night. I'll still put out the Concierge Trade Alerts. I'll be back Sunday night because we got a full week ahead of us. And so Sunday night, the alert channel, the Logic 247 alert channel will open at 6 p.m. Eastern when the global markets open, as we do each and every Sunday night for the last 122 weeks. So hope you'll join us there. Let me get to these numbers from around the world, the indices as they're called. Starting here in the US, the Dow up 493 points. That's 1.5%. NASDAQ up 119 points, 1%. S&P 500 up 55 points, 1.5%. The Russell 2000 up 36 points. It's a little over 2%. Now, I'll talk more about this during the broadcast after Michael comes on, but in the live training room this morning, we were debating if we were at the high of the day. And I said, guys, this very well may be the high of the day for all the indices except for the Russell. I said, and then someone in the room said, yeah, can't really go any higher from here. But I said, well, I'm going to embrace all possibilities. I encourage everybody in the room this morning to embrace all possibilities, because what we saw happen today with these markets, you never know. So in the training room, we have rigid rules, but we apply them to flexible situations. All right, so I just gave you the indices. Now let me go to the commodity basket. Crude oil up $2, well, $1.91. Trading 44.97 last. That's a gain of 4.5%. Gold, on the other hand, different story, down $37.30, trading $1,800.50 last. That's a drop of 2%. Now we dipped we came within one tick, I believe, of triggering an alert at 1797. I think the swing low was 1797.1. Not saying we can't still go lower, because we can, right? So you got to embrace the possibilities. And I'm not looking at a gold chart at the moment. But when you think the market can go no higher or go no lower, just know that it can. Not only can it, it can stay liquid far longer than you and I can put together. Okay. All right. In the Asian markets at the close, Nikkei posted a gain of 638 points, and the world's on fire in a good way, I guess, for a change. Up 2.5%. The Shanghai dropped 11, and at the close, the Hang Seng posted a gain of 80 points. In the European markets at the close, now keep in mind, these folks don't celebrate Thanksgiving. And I know, according to Governor Cuomo and everyone else, Dr. F, we're not supposed to. In fact, they would like it if we never celebrated Thanksgiving again, because it stands for horrible things. Go figure. But we will. So anyway, Asian markets, European markets, they'll be doing business Thursday and Friday, just like normal. Today in the European markets at the close, FTSE posted a gain of 98 points. That's 1.5%. The DAX rose 165 points, 1.25%. And the CAC rose 66 points, a gain of 1.25%. Now, that gives us a mixed day in Asia, green day in the UK, and it is a big green radio Tuesday before Thanksgiving here in the US of A. Sunday night, we talked about in our discussion group, which you're invited to join, by the way. Just send Valerie an email, support@cfrn.net. Just in the email, just say, let me get in there and talk to those traders. Our traders are happy to talk with you. And it's a very active discussion group. You know, a lot of the investment forums, trading forums, and chat rooms and whatnot on the internet are dreary, depressing places. Everybody's angry and bitter and losing money. We have a very different environment. We have a lot of happy people. We have experienced traders. We have brand new traders sharing their trades, sharing their charts in a positive reinforcing environment. So if you've had enough of the other, join us. Just get a hold of Valerie. You can even call her, 949-42-EMINI. Hey, that guy today on the stream, he was talking about your discussion group. How do I get in there? She'll fix you right up. At this point, if Michael's ready, we'll go to him, get a recap of everything that happened this morning in the live training room. After that, I'll come back. We'll take a look at the markets overall. We'll look at the Concierge Trade Alerts. We'll take a look at Logic 247. That's our round-the-clock, 24/7 E-mini alert service, which is open from Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern till Friday after, on a typical week, until Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern. Michael, I got your charts locked and loaded. So if you're ready, you can take it away. I see you, but I don't hear you.
Oh, oops. I didn't click both of my buttons.
You know, yesterday on the radio, my headphones were working perfectly fine. And then I was in a mentoring session yesterday afternoon. And when I entered that meeting, suddenly I was only getting audio out of the left can. and I played with the cord. I mean, I know how sometimes like you can step on a cord or pull it and one side of the headphones go out, but I didn't have that experience yesterday. So I didn't change anything. I was on the stream on the radio yesterday here doing the broadcast, and it took a break, came back to do a mentoring session, and the right side of my headphones, I was thinking it was him, the guy I was in the mentoring session with. I said, are you broadcasting? Are you using a different kind of microphone today or something? Thought maybe it was mono instead of stereo. He said, no, this is how I always do the meeting with you. So I was thinking today it would be back to normal, but not that I have any shortage of headphones around here. In fact, I could plug in a pair of earbuds to my Shure XTU audio interface. So anyway, hey, let me ask you a question. Do they have Starbucks in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you go there?
I only go there to get like those fruity drinks from Macy.
Oh.
No, I don't drink coffee.
When you look at the store and they got their sign out there, do you see the mermaid or do you see Starbucks?
I don't really pay that much attention to it. I usually approach it from the backside. It's right in front of
the cup. When you hold the cup in your hand, do you see Starbucks or do you see the mermaid?
I don't hold a cup. I never get anything there.
So I think what you're trying to say in a roundabout way is you don't see the mermaid.
I don't see the mermaid.
See, now that blew me away the other day when I got to thinking about it, because I always thought that, logos had to be so perfect and expressing, what the underlying product was. And what does mermaid have to do with coffee? Well, my research, I can't find anything that could connect any dots, but it really got me thinking. That Starbucks brand logo is probably one of the most widely recognized logos. I mean, it's like Nike. It's like, all these famous Chevrolet, that logo, but it's a mermaid.
I don't know. I'll have to pay more attention next time I go there.
Well, trust me, now that I've mentioned this, you'll never be able to go to Starbucks again, nor will anyone in this audience ever be able to go to Starbucks again and not see the mermaid. I've ruined you all for life. Okay. I'm going to hit mute. Take it away.
Okay. All right, here we go. If you're going to read this, good afternoon, everyone. Today's the 24th day of November, 2020. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you can read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today we made 22 ticks in the euro and 27 ticks in gold and 4 ticks on the ES for a break even on crude. That put us at plus 457.5 on the morning session. Today it took 28 minutes and 3 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up 122.50, and we took a total of 14 trades today. So on the month now, we're at $6,905. That's over 17 trading days, averaging $406 per contract per 2-hour trading day. I've now gone 195 consecutive days of getting my goal. And on the year now, we're at $94,593. That's over 220 days, averaging $429 per contract per 2-hour trading day. I want to get this to 100,000 by the end of the year. Hopefully I'll be able to do that next month. December has been a tricky month normally. But anyway, if you have not taken a free trial with us and you want to take a free trial with us, go to the homepage here at CFRN.net, and right here it says free 5-day trial. You click on that and it's going to bring you to this page, eminitrainingschool.com. On this page, all we ask for is your name, your email, your phone number. You can tell us the biggest training channel so we can tailor one-on-one training just for you. Hit the send button and you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on that confirmation link. Okay, if you don't click the confirmation link, then we don't know that you took the free trial. You can also go to eminifuturestrading.com. At eminifuturestrading.com, you can sign up for a free trial of the passport, which includes the mentoring, but it also includes the Logic 247 and Concierge Trade Alerts. If you do that, there are going to be a lot of things coming at you. So an open mind. All right. All right, gold, we traded a bunch of gold today. We ended up with plus 27 ticks on it. But I'm gonna scroll back to the beginning here and I'm gonna delete all my drawing objects because I just have too many now. Here on gold, we started out right here. Our first trade of the day was plus 2 ticks. We missed this bounce here. We missed that trade right there. Both of those would have been nice profitable trades. We missed that one, which probably would have been a break even. We picked up 9 ticks here to put us at plus 11. We missed that one, which would have been a nice profitable trade. Missed that one. We picked up 2 ticks here to put us at plus 13. Break even there. 2 more ticks here to put us at plus 15. 5 ticks to put us at plus 20. Break even there. 5 more ticks to put us at plus 25, and 2 ticks to put us at plus 27. And that's where we ended it on the morning session. And you see during the break, it was just really choppy right in here. There really wasn't any opportunity during the break. Okay, so gold was pretty active for us today. We had a lot of trades on gold. The euro, let's see, we had a plus 2 right there, then a plus 4 right there to put us at plus 6, and then we had a plus 16 right here to put us at plus 22 on the euro. Since then, there was one short trade right here. It was a nice short that would have worked out pretty well. The crude oil. Okay, the crude oil. Let's go back here to the beginning. I want to see if there were trades that actually did sit up in here that I just missed. There was one right here, but I think it was going into the high of the day. That's why I wasn't doing anything with it. Finally, I took one right over here and we ended up with a break even on it. Now, during the break, it spun around and started going down. There was a shorting opportunity there. And it flipped around again and started going up. And there's a long opportunity right there. And that was it for crude during the break. The ES. Let's go all the way back here. On the ES, there was a long opportunity right there that I missed. Another one right there. Now, I think the ES was going into the high of the day at the same time. That's why I didn't do anything with it. We had a break even right there and a plus 4 right here. That was all that we did on the ES today. Now, it was going into the high of the day during all this movement right here. That's why we weren't doing anything with it. Now, during the break, there was a shorting opportunity right there and a bounce off the BBC right there. Okay, so we had a couple of trades during the break for the ES. But it's coming off the high of the day right now. No, let me go back to the spreadsheet first. Okay, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today is the 24th day of November 2020. We made 22 ticks. 22 ticks in the euro, 27 ticks in gold, and 4 ticks on the ES. Put us at plus 457.5 on the morning session. Today it took 28 minutes and 3 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're at 122.50, and we took a total of 14 trades. So on the month now, we're at $6,905. That's over 17 trading days, averaging $406 per contract per trading day. I've now gone 195 consecutive days of getting my goal for the day, and on the year now, we're at $94,593. That's over 220 days, averaging $429 per contract per 2-hour trading day. And as you can see, I miss a bunch of the trades. Now, if you have not taken a free trial with us and you want to take a free trial with us, go to the homepage here at CFRN.net. It says free 5-day trial, no credit card required. Click on that and it's going to bring you to this page, eminitrainingschool.com. On this page, all we ask for is your name, your email, and your phone number. And that's it. That's how you take the free trial. If you want to take the passport free trial, go to eminifuturestrading.com and take the free trial from there. Okay. Again, with the passport, you're going to get the Logic 24/7 and the Concierge Trade Alerts along with the mentoring. So get ready for it, okay? Because there's going to be a lot of information coming your way. Okay. And that is it. With that, we can pass it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona. It's Studio A overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready. Okay. Dwayne does not appear to be ready. Okay, so right here, let me go and see. Was it Anne-Marie? No, she's not in here right now. There's a YBR trade right here. That's what I was going to point out. And a YBR trade right here. And a YBR trade right here. And setting up for a YBR trade right here.
Did I miss my call?
Yeah.
You know, I checked YouTube and we're not streaming live as we should be. Valerie, I'm going to ask you to, if you could please, I'm going to see if I can't kick it in gear now.
Okay.
Something changed, and so maybe Valerie, you can upload your version, the recorded version later. They've changed something, and I did not get the memo. Now let me just check my phone and see if I show a live stream. No, not yet. I have to find some help from them somewhere, because by all reasonable, it used to just work every day. It just, all I had to do is just open up the streaming software, kick it in gear.
I hate it when they make changes like that.
Yeah. I just did the other thing that normally, when I'm having a problem, makes it work, and it's everything is set as it should be. I don't get it. Well, I guess I got the holiday to figure it out. Right now, start streaming software. Go.
Did it work?
Start sending us your video from your streaming software to go live. I'm already doing that. YouTube, custom RTMP. Let me kick it out to Facebook and see if that comes up. But Valerie always records it, so at least. And I'm not gonna go check Facebook right now, but to those that normally listen via the live stream, my apologies. I could stop it and restart it, but anyway, recap of the recap.
Today it took 28 minutes and 3 trades to get to 122.5.
Good job.
Thank you.
And I mentioned this during my opening comments, but what I said in the live training room about, I thought the indices were at the high.
Mhm.
And somebody in the room said, yeah, I don't think they can go any higher. And I said, but we got to embrace all possibilities. The last time I looked, that was about 10 points ago on the S&P. In fact, see right there, we're now going up through red and falling.
Mhm.
We put in a high. That was 20 points ago. No, 15. We thought the high was going to be red and falling around 36.20, and the swing high so far. Now the all-time historic closing high is right here at 36.28 and a quarter. The high today is 35.75. So if we close at the high of today in the S&P, we'll have a new all-time historic closing high. This is the all-time historic intraday high, this big wick here. So just when you think you got it all figured out,
Yep. Goes and changes on you.
maybe you don't. Huh. Yeah, it's still telling me to start sending the stream. Oh, well, I know Valerie's recording it because I can see the little light. So thanks, Valerie, wherever you are. Appreciate it so much. Okay, you already gave me the recap of the recap, so I guess I'll just dive in. Are you still going to get another test today?
I don't know. I might do an online thing.
Well, I
where
mean,
they can
would it show? What would the test say that? Because I mean, you still kind of got it, don't you? A little bit.
Yeah, I got the cough now, but all the other symptoms are gone. You know, I don't have the fever and I don't have all the pains and headaches and all that stuff. But I have the cough, and you know, it feels like it's in my chest. So Jada wants me to do an online thing, and you know, with my insurance company, and see if they'll give me an antibiotic to get that out of my chest. And and hopefully that's going to be it. You know, if I did get the test, it would take like a week for it to come back right now because everybody's getting tests before the holiday. And it would take forever for it to come back, so I wouldn't have it in time for the holiday. So there's really no point in doing it, I guess. You know, I want to go get a negative test, but I saw on the news last night that, you know, if you're going to get a negative test, just be prepared to wait because it's going to take some time. So I may skip the negative test and just wait and see how long this chest thing goes and the cough goes. Hopefully it's not going to be too long. That's
my daughter's the principal of the school that she used to go to before the pandemic, but she still goes there, but virtually. She got it. It lasted 4 weeks with her.
Yeah, well.
And then there was a thing on 60 Minutes, I think, this past Sunday night, where they were interviewing people that got it back early in the year, and they're still experiencing. Like so one lady, I think she's like some kind of long distance runner or something, athlete, and she has trouble walking up the stairs in her house.
Yeah, it affects people different ways.
Yeah, other people get it, and it's like, you know, it's like a flu or a bad cold or maybe even nothing at all.
Yeah, I gotta think. Jada had it, and she didn't have any symptoms at all. You know, my original symptoms were just flu. They were just flu symptoms or cold symptoms, and then it got worse, and it got to the headaches, and then it got to the vomiting, and it got the fevers, and
Wow.
and then after the vomiting, I had like 2 days where it seemed like everything was gone, and then I think it was Saturday morning the coughing started, and now I'm hacking up things that just don't belong in my body, but they're all clear. It's weird, and You know, normally when you hack up something like that, it's not going to be clear. It's going to be green or yellowish, and it's all clear. It's just weird. You know, it seems to, you know, the more I talk, the more it seems to affect me. But you know, if I'm not talking too much, then I usually I don't cough too much. But I don't know what it is about it. Yes, it is strange. It is a strange illness.
Well, I hope you feel better. After tomorrow, you'll have another 4 days to rest.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully. It'll all be okay.
I slept about 2 hours in the past 10 days, I think. My GABA uptake receptors have shut down, and it's a really complicated thing. Some say it's all in your head, but well, that's where the GABA uptake receptors are. So anyway, life goes on. All right. Okay, folks, this is the daily chart of the S&P 500 Emini Futures. As I said earlier, we had a intraday historic high, a historic closing high. Price typically pulls back to the BBC. Okay, it always pulls back to the BBC. Price always goes home. The BBC is this green line. What does BBC mean? It stands for bull, bear, cross. When price crosses above that green line, we're bullish, looking for higher prices. And when price crosses below it, we're bearish, looking for lower prices. So that part is held true. However, on this pullback, we had a doji, and then we had what to the naked eye looks like an inside day. And then we had yesterday, and then here comes the turkey rally. Historically, markets rally into Thanksgiving here in the US, and no doubt from the Sunday night open, see today's Tuesday, Monday, from the Sunday night open, that's definitely a rally. So we didn't pull all the way back to the BBC. And sometimes that happens. But the pullback, when it happens, and price always reverts to the mean. Our mean just happens to be green. This pullback held on this one and this one and this one. I could go on, but in this one and this one. So what does that mean? It means we've got potential resistance at this swing high, and then potential resistance at this swing high from a daily perspective. When price finally does pull back to the BBC, we expect it to hold because it holds more often than it doesn't. Right now, the BBC is right at the same area as this trend line that we drew some days ago, from that swing high to this swing high to this swing high. Got above it, came back, did a trader Vic, kissed the top of the trend line 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. That's very unusual. We've got a 2-day leg, 4-day retracement, and now another 2-day leg. So when you think it can't go any higher, just remember that it can. And when you just know it can't go any lower, remember that it can. That's the best advice I can give you. Now, we have 2 alert services. One is called Logic 247. We opened Sunday night. We used Telegram as our broadcast medium. I'm trying to do 2 things at one time. I'm not doing a very good job of it. Trying to get the recap posted so I can share it. The Logic 247 channel opens Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. Remains open until 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Just bear with me, guys. It'll be better if I just do one thing at a time. So I normally get this done before I come on. But Okay, I think I did it. Yeah, I did it. Okay, so far this week, which we launched Logic 247, our 24/7 Emini alert service based on logic, not magic, 121 weeks ago. As of today at noon, for this week, week number 121, I checked on break. That's a lot of weeks. 121 is a lot. I had no idea when we launched it, but here we are. Now this week, because early on, Sunday night and yesterday, we had a lot of sideways consolidation at last week's weekly trading zone, 3563/64. We haven't had probably as many alerts. How many alerts do we have on average? Probably 50 to 60. We've had as many as 100. So I guess if we were going to be here a full week, we probably would hit 50. We had quite a few last night. So we had 20 alerts total this week in Logic 247, and I'll show you in just a second what those look like. 3 of them never triggered. Still waiting on the results of 2. So we had 15 actionable alerts. None of them have stopped out yet, based upon not risking more than $300 per contract per trade, based on market structure and the 3-step methodology that we teach all of our traders. Okay, so this is the results. So for our 3 week now, 0%, that's not normal. A typical week, 20% are stopped out. So let me show you what the alerts actually look like, in case you're new. Always looking out for the new guy. So, okay, last week, which was week 120. Last week, week 120. We only had a total of 25 alerts the whole week because we had an entire week of sideways consolidation. We had 25 alerts total, 3 never triggered, 22 actionable alerts. 2 of those were stopped out based on the same criteria I just mentioned. 9% of actionable alerts stopped out. Now, 0 is not normal, 9 is not normal. The average is 20%. This week, week 121, which started Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, this 2 days ago. Good evening, welcome to Globex. When you see the Z's, that means no trigger. No trigger. Still waiting on this one, it looks like. Here's gold. Now, this is alert number 5,707. So over 121 weeks, that's how many individual alerts like this that we've posted live in real time in the channel for our traders. Now, the idea here was to be long 1873, initial target 1874, and then the final trade 2 target was the weekly trading zone at 1876/77. So this was good for the swing high at the time was 1875. I don't know if gold ever made it above that. Let me look. Because we know what's happened to gold the last few days. Yeah, see, we actually put in a swing high at 79. But when Valerie comes through and does the recap, I do the alert, she does the recap, so that way we have third-party verification so that make sure everything is as it should be. At the time, the swing high was 1875, so that's what this $200 represents. But as you can see, the swing high of the move ultimately was 1879. So from 73 to 79, that would be a $600 per contract move. But we can't drag it out all week. So at some point, she has to come in, draw the line. She made a determination here. This isn't going to trigger this week. This isn't going to trigger. Still waiting on this. I'm guessing that's going to become a no trigger as well. Or maybe she's finalized it, but there was no entry on the initial trigger. Because remember, we don't want to risk more than $300 per contract per trade. And if the trigger requires risking more than $300 per contract per trade, then we wait for the next trigger, which typically requires less risk and offers more profit potential. Next was crude oil. The idea here, B means buy, T is initial target. I didn't want to put IT because then that would look like it, and that would be really confusing. And then the second target, or because this is a long, potential resistance, and then the final trade to target, which is the weekly trading zone above. So the idea on crude was to be long 42.58. The initial target was 42.68, then potential resistance at 42.75, and then the weekly trading zone at 43.20/25. So $780 per contract traded. The swing high was 43.36, so we exceeded the weekly trading zone, which was where you would want to get out to grab that 780. If you hung around for the exit signal didn't come in until 43.07, so you'd have given a little bit of that back. No trigger on the Russell. And while we didn't trigger on the Russell short, we hedged it with the long. And at the time that the recap was done, the swing high on the Russell was 1792.40. However, if we look at the Russell right now, if we look at the Russell right now, there we go. We're at 1860. So now that was a Concierge Trade Alert long there at 1798, but this was getting long at 1790. We're now at 1860. So that's 70 Russell points. I'm just showing you what the market made available. 70 Russell points at $50 a point. It's $3,500 per contract traded. But the recap reflects what the swing high of the initial move was when Valerie did the recap. Okay. So there was 120. Now you see on this one, by 1790, initial target 92, potential resistance 94, potential resistance 1800, and we've already hit 1860. Next was a hedge on the ES to buy 35.93, initial target 35.95, second target 97, next target 36.04, next target 36.08, and then weekly trading zone 36.10. The swing high at the time of the recap was 35.96. Okay, that's why it says $150 per contract. But if we look at the ES, we just hit 36.30. Well, above that with 36.35. So could this have potentially been a 17-point trade based upon this alert versus the 3? Well, the answer is right in front of you there. So just want to make sure you understand it. Not only new people, but those who've been around a while. Alert number 5,712 made $580 per contract traded available at the time of the recap. We've exceeded that now. In fact, we put in new all-time historic highs on the Dow today. That's right here. So we're up over 3,000. And so we've exceeded, but it still made $580 per contract traded. And that was 400 points ago. So we've risen an additional 400 points since the recap was taken. Okay, And that brings us to yesterday. Here's gold. Here's the S&P. Silver. Gold. Crude oil. I don't have a figure on this one. Or this one. Oh, yeah, 90 bucks. But again, see, we're at 3,000. At the time of the recap, this is what was available. But again, you're looking at, see where we're on the Dow? We're up over 3,000. At the time the recap was taken, the swing high was just 29,858. Here's the Russell to be long at 44, initial target 46, and then the weekly trading zone 49.50. And where did we say the Russell was now? 1850. It was at 1818 at the time of the recap. And because everything's been exploding to the upside today, so far today, there's only been just this one alert, which, interestingly enough, it was to be short at 1797 on gold. And the swing low was 1797.1. So it never triggered, came within one tick of triggering. Swing low, 1797.1, the trigger, 1797. Now, this was posted before the fact. This was before the 1797.1 was posted. We were still up here. These are 30-minute charts that we're looking at. Okay, so I said we have two alert services. That's the Logic 247. Now let's talk about the granddaddy of our alerts, the Concierge Trade Alerts, which have been around about 7 years, I think. Okay, in fact, I'm going to drag them up. I try to get them out as soon as possible after the Globex open each evening. The global futures markets open at 6 p.m. Eastern. Normally it's somewhere between 6 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. Eastern that I get them out. Let's see, the previous day, yesterday. Sunday night, I got them out at 6:25 p.m. Eastern. Last night, Monday night. Now, these numbers are good for the entire session. When we have, well, let me say this, important prices, important areas are almost always tested. In other words, once triggered, it's more likely that it will trigger a second, even a third or fourth time than not. Important prices, important areas are almost always tested. So these are usually good for multiple trades throughout the session because price will come back, get below the trigger, take off again, except on days where we have a huge directional move like we had today. So if you want to grab a screenshot of these, go ahead and then we'll just walk through them real quick, one by one. Okay. All right. Now, why is there two numbers? Great question. At 3,600 on the S&P, the concept is to be long at 3,600 and or only looking for longs above 3,600. To consider being short at 35.56 and or only looking for shorts, okay? So this gives you sort of a sentiment bias because you can see if price is heading for this number or heading for this number. And the Logic 247 alerts sort of serve to fill in the gaps as we approach and then as we surpass. Whichever way the shoe falls or the cookie crumbles, that's it. That's the analogy I wanted. All right, so let's go to the ES and just take them one by one. ES 30-minute chart. Okay, so last night's Concierge Trade Alert was to be long at or above 3,600. which was down here. Down here. Okay. By 3,600. Okay. Now, you're looking at last week's weekly trading zone. Got a this week weekly trading zone at 3605/06. Then above that, it jumps all the way to 3664. But can you see how last week's zone still playing an important role? That's why I leave them on at the beginning of the week. The highest weekly zone this week for the S&P is 64/65. And given the bullish nature of the markets right now, we very well may see it. We took out the lowest weekly zone on gold on the overnight session. So from 3,600. Now I can show you what I mean by important, even though this became a directional day, it did not start out that way. It was 10 a.m. when that Richmond manufacturing number came in lower than expected, that price took off. Once upon a time, good news sent the markets higher, bad news sent the markets lower. They don't even correlate anymore. They can have the, like I say, the Richmond number was a miss, and look what happened. Go figure. But you see how we triggered 3,600 and ran to the zone? That's 5 points. Okay. Then we got back below the trigger, another run. Got back below the trigger. See price pulling back to the BBC. What I explained to you about that daily chart with the BBC, everything I explained about the daily chart applies to every market and every time frame. From the range chart that we use in the live training room, all the way up to the daily and everything in between. So from 3,600, we've put in a swing high at 36.35. That's 35 S&P points available at $50 a point. Now, this other indicator that you see, the official term is CFMA1. I refer to it as blue and climbing. When we have a rally, price will always climb the back of blue and climbing. It'll walk up this little step line, step, step. Now, when price starts to walk sideways, that's typically an indication that this move has run out of steam. So what will happen as blue and climbing catches up to the step line, this step line will hang a right turn. It will cross over, just like right here. See how price shot up and then price started to walk sideways and the step line crossed over, okay? Now an exit signal would be a red candle printing below the step line after it crosses over. Never happens, at least not there. It happened up here. Okay. That was the exit signal from any trade that was down in this area. Okay. Now you only wait for the exit signal in an extended move like this, or when the thing's on the wall. If you were in at 36 and now we're sitting, we hit 35.75. Now we're back down to 30. If you wanted to just take your profit here, that's nothing wrong with that. Or you can wait because we could catch an afternoon rally. But once an exit signal prints, okay, you definitely want to take whatever profit you have in the trade. Now the exit signal can't get you out at the swing high or the swing low, because no one or no thing, not man nor machine, can know that that's going to be the swing high until after the fact. Guess what? We still don't know if that's the swing high, because buyers could come in this afternoon, rally this thing into the close, then all of a sudden that's not the swing high. So while God did not give man or his machines the ability to know the future with certainty. What he did give us was a brain so that we could apply logic to these markets and know with certainty what the next high probability move is, with a margin of error of about 20% as applied to Logic 247 over the last 121 weeks, as I just showed you a few minutes ago. Okay, that's what you can know. You can know with certainty what the next high probability move is if you let us teach you. If you use the strategy and the indicators that we've put together over the last 15 years. And it's very simple. I mean, you're looking at, this is it. This is everything. Our weekly zones, the BBC, blue and climbing, red and falling. Blue and climbing is bullish, red and falling is bearish. Red and falling will snap a rally. Blue and climbing will kick one in gear. And then down here's the slingshot. Now the slingshot is used more so on the smaller time frame. Like if you're dropping down to a 5-minute or a 1 minute to execute an alert, or if you're just trading, not necessarily waiting for an alert to trigger, but you're just trading and you're using the range chart that Michael teaches you on in the morning in the trading room. And the slingshot is very, very, very important. Okay. I don't use it to make trading decisions on the 30-minute, but I do look at it for confirmation. Now you see how we've turned red and we're headed towards this white line. I call that the 50-yard line. Why? Because it's halfway between the top and the bottom. Now, even though we're red and headed back towards the 50-yard line, this is what folks would call divergence. Indicator looking bearish, but price went higher. But we don't, that's not part of our criteria. We're not looking for that divergence to issue an alert. However, when you understand it, that's just too much to go into right now. But I'll tell you what, if the cycle indicator here, if it drops below this red line, if it drops below the 50-yard line, then I'll say with some certainty that this rally has been nipped in the bud. But it hasn't crossed below yet. See back here, see where we dipped, and then we came back strong. We dipped below the 50-yard line, got right back above it, and look at what happened. Now, could this become that? Sure. Absolutely. Embrace all possibilities. So was there a number of excellent opportunities last night on the S&P? Absolutely. Trigger, 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 trigger. Now on a long, you want to have blue and climbing supporting your trade. Trading right into the face of red and falling, even though this thing did reach up and touch the zone, okay, which was the trade to target, I don't recommend it. Wait until you have the support of blue and climbing, like you had here, like you had here. Look at this move. This move took us from the 3,600 after 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess the 5th trigger, took off. All right. Next on the list is the Dow. Last night's Concierge Trade Alert for the Dow was to be long 29,780. 29,780. Buy 29,780. Now, when you're trading a Concierge Trade Alert, you can look at the most recent logic alert for the Dow or whatever market it is, and you'll see outlined in those logic alerts where you anticipate potential resistance or potential support, also known as target number 2, target number 3, target number 4. So from 29,780, we've traded up to 3,067. So let's just call it 3,060. 3,060 minus 29,780. It's 280 Dow points. The S&P pays 50 a point, but the Dow pays 5. So 280 times 5, it's a $1,400 per contract move. If you got out at the swing high, which I dare say you probably didn't, okay? Maybe you're waiting on an exit signal. See how price is walking sideways? That's an indication that this move may have lost its momentum, but it doesn't rule out that buyers could come in and rally us into the close. See the sideways walk? We overcame red and falling, took off. Now, when I say important prices, important areas are almost always tested. Take a look at this candle. We got back below the trigger, back below the trigger. This tried so hard to get back below the trigger. The swing low was 29,784. Okay, with 4 Dow points, getting back below the trigger, right? Okay. Next on the list is the Russell. That was yesterday's. Today's was to consider being long, 1843. 1843. Now, notice how we've got that same spike down that we had in the S&P and the Dow. We got it in the Russell. If you haven't figured it out, the indices tend to mirror each other. What does that mean? It means they do basically the same thing. They travel as a pack. They're pack animals. By T43. So this first little move only took us up to 47.60. So that's 4.5 points, $50 a point. So call it $200 per contract traded. Then what price do? It pull back to the BBC. Price always reverts to the mean. And it tried to trigger again, and we caught that pullback. Now we got a swing high up at 1860.7. So off the top of my head, 1860 at 17 points. You got out the swing high, which I don't think you did. 17 times 50, it's $850 per contract traded. Now, as wonderful as all the alerts are, you still got to learn how to trade. That's the purpose of the live training room. That's what Michael toils away at every day, Monday through Friday, for all of our partners, passport holders. He teaches you the strategy. He teaches you how to read our indicators, how to bring it all together in a holistic kind of a picture so that you know when to take action and when to sit on your hands, okay? So are the alerts good? Well, you tell me, but again, to use them effectively, you still got to learn how to trade. Do some people just set them and forget them? Yeah. Do they have the same results as the folks who put in the time to learn how to trade? No. No, the folks who put in the time to learn how to trade will always have the greater result. It's just how it is. Next on the list is crude oil. If you haven't rolled crude, then you're not trading, because we're now in GCLF 21, as in 2021. Okay. Last night's alert was to be long, 43.50. which happened right here. See how many times that thing triggered before it got going? That's what I mean by important prices, important areas, almost always tested. This little swing high took us up to 74. It's $240 per contract traded. Now, you got to be very, very cautious about going long into the phase of red and falling. Okay? Wait until you've got the support of blue and climbing. Now, that's something to get excited about. From 43.50 to 44.50, that's a $1,000 per contract move. A $1 move in the price of crude oil pays $1,000 per futures contract traded. So right here, that's $1,000, but it kept going. We're up another 50 cents. So this is about a $1,500 per contract move. I mean, if we actually hit 45.50, which, see how we're running out of steam? What did price do? It walked sideways. You saw it on the S&P, you saw it on the Dow, you saw it on the Russell. Now you're seeing it on crude. See how the step line crossed over? If this candle right here closes red in, it's 11:11. He looked at the clock and it was 11:11. Did you guys know that's a thing? 11:11? It is. Or even 111. They say it's the universe speaking to you. If you doubt me, Google it. There's societies and groups and Facebook forums and websites, and it's a big deal. Now, I believe it's a conditioned human response that once you become aware of the phenomena, your brain always knows what time it is. But because you overthink it, you get it wrong. When somebody goes, what time is it? Well, I think it's, I could teach you a trick where you would almost always hit it right on the nose. But once you're aware of the 11:11 phenomena, it only happens twice a day. You'd be amazed at how many times you look at the clock and it's 11:11. Now it's 11:12. Okay. All right. So these are 30-minute candles. So we have 18 minutes left in the life of this candle. Buyers could come in, rally it up. Now, right here, price was just starting to cross. So that red candle doesn't really count as the exit signal. It's after the cross, okay? After the step line crosses, see how it steps up and over, up and over, up and over. Right here, what did it do? It stepped over, stepped over. It broke the rhythm. And that's what this is all about. It's about the rhythm of the market. Can you hear it? Can you see it? Can you feel it? If you can't, that's part of the reason you maybe haven't had the results that you've hoped for. It's also possible that you haven't had anyone teach you. That's why 9 out of 10 new traders fail. Not because they're stupid, not because they're cursed. Simply, they had never had anybody teach them. Maybe they watch some guy trade and they go, wow, that looks pretty simple. Let me give it a try. Why do you think they make you take a driving test before they give you a driving license? Or you got to go to pilot school before you can get a pilot license? It almost seems cruel that anybody with a couple grand can fund an account, go print some business cards that say trader. Is it any wonder that you end up in a crumpled heap on the side of the road or crashed into a mountaintop? Imagine if you didn't have to get a license to drive or a license to fly. There'd be tragedy and fatalities everywhere. The statistics would probably be 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 people who try to drive a car without a license crash. 9 out of 10 people who try to fly an airplane without a license crash. Probably 10 out of 10. I don't know. Smart guy would probably parachute out before it hits. It's that important. Now, will we teach you? You bet. That's what the passport's all about. Everything a trader needs, all under one roof, one low price. We've been around since 2005. We're here every day, training you, teaching you, building community. If you've not tied into our community in Telegram, get a hold of Valerie. You're missing out. Great people. You'll meet some really great people and some doggone good traders too. 949-42 Emini. Support at CFRN.net. All right, we got another chart to look at. Gold. Now, yesterday we had a short at 1865, and then last night the alert was 1824. Important prices, important areas are almost always tested. I've shown it to you on each and every chart. Look what happened. From 24, the initial breakdown took us to 19. That's $500 per contract traded in two 30-minute candles. And remember I said price always reverts to the mean? Just look for the green. Price is always going to go back there. That's how markets work. And then we trigger from 1824 and put in a low, we'll call it 1800. So that's $2,400 per contract traded. $2,400 per contract traded. Gold pays $100 per point. So if the price of gold moves $1 and you're trading one contract, that's $100. If price drops $25 and you're trading one contract, then that's $2,500. Okay. All right. Time now for our good word for the day. We started out yesterday talking about self-focus and how we should shun unhealthy self-focus. Let's dive into part 2. Luke 12:37. Blessed are those servants whom the master, when he comes, will find watching. When Jesus comes back, what's he going to catch you doing? I hope he catches me being about my Father's business, because no man knows when that day or hour will be. Back to self-focus. When dealing with self-focus, you may ask, what about those scriptures that specifically tell us to watch? Aren't they all about keeping an eye on ourselves? That's a good question. So let's take a look at some of those watch passages from scripture. In Mark 13:34, we read, a man going to a far country left his house and gave authority to his servants, and to each his work, and commanded the doorkeeper to watch. Watch therefore, for you do not know when the master of the house is coming. Maybe in the evening, maybe midnight, maybe at the crowing of the rooster, or midday. Lest coming suddenly he finds you sleeping. And what I say to you, I say to all, watch. That's Mark 13:34 through 37, out of the New King James Version. What Jesus was teaching in this parable is the exact opposite of self-focus. The doorkeeper wasn't supposed to watch himself, but to watch for the returning master. Jesus expects us to forget ourselves, work conscientiously for his kingdom, and be watching and prepared for his return. He said, blessed are those servants whom the master, when he comes, will find watching. Assuredly, I say to you that he will gird himself, have them sit down to eat, and will come and serve them. The master is going to serve the servants. far from an obsessive self-introspection that leaves you exhausted, discouraged, and disappointed with yourself. Jesus wants you to be excited and involved in his work here on earth, to actively watch for the coming again of your Lord and King. In Isaiah 45:22, we read, "Look to me, not to yourself, and be saved, for I am God and there is no other." That's what the Word of God says. So try this, focus more on God, less on yourself. That's our good word for the day. We'll be back for one more session tomorrow, and then it's all about the holiday. Governor Cuomo does not want you to enjoy Thanksgiving. Lots of folks in America today don't want you to enjoy Thanksgiving. We do. We want you to have time of not only enjoying family or friends or good food, but time to reflect on what we as a nation have to be thankful for, what you as an individual or as a family unit have to be thankful for. We have much, even in this crazy year, 2020, the year that wasn't, the year they locked us down, put masks on us, took away our spirit. You can't kill a man's spirit. You can break it. Don't let yours be broken by the situation, by the circumstances, by the Emmy award-winning, ridiculous as it is, Governor Cuomo with his daily broadcasts. Oh, and you know what? Sunday night, if you did not see the Patriot Awards on Fox News, I know some of you don't like to go there, maybe because it's far too right. That's okay. So that I could say this today, so that I can encourage you, even if you're a centrist or lean a little left. Yesterday afternoon, I watched the election special edition of Saturday Night Live. It's been years since I watched Saturday Night Live. Now, I know they've made much fun of the president over the last 4 years, but you know what? They were making equal fun of the Democrats. They were just making fun of politics in general. Equal disrespect, except it wasn't disrespect, it's humor. I think that's one of our problems is this year's been so tough on so many, we've forgotten to laugh or have joy. This too shall pass. When? I don't know. But I know it will pass. The word says it will pass. This isn't how the story ends. There's coming a day when we'll all rise. First, every knee shall bow, and then we all rise. So go to On Demand, whatever your cable company calls it, and pull up the Patriot Awards. It's only 1 hour from Sunday night. And while the whole 1 hour show was good, and the people they gave these awards to, it's going to make, bring a tissue. You get a little tear in your eye. But there's 3 songs by some really good artists that you're going to love. One I know you've heard, the other 2 you might have heard. But give it a try. I watched Saturday Night Live for you, so you can watch Fox News. All right. My, did I miss it? God, I'm going to bless you, Fred. And God bless America. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with his mercy and with his grace. And I'll see you at the bell.